Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. أما بعد أحبتي في العصر السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أسأل الله كريم رب العرش العظيم أن يتولنا في الدنيا والآخرة. أحبتي في الله, Ibn Abdul Hadi Al-Hanbali rahmatullah alayhi rahmatin wasi, he mentions about the concept of supplicating to the dead, and that this is munkar, this is wicked. Let's hear what he has to say, and when it's mashru', and what is mashru', what is legislated when we go to the graves. فزيارة القبور للدعاء للميت من جنس الصلاة على الجنائز يقصد فيها الدعاء لهم. So he says, visiting the graves of those who have deceased to make dua for them is from one of the types of salat al-janaza. You know, it's a part of making salat al-janaza. You know, this sacred burial in Islam. And he says, yaqsid fiha du'a lahum. The intent of this is to make supplication for those who died. Supplication to who? To Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is tawheed, that you're worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and you're asking Allah to have mercy upon the dead, to forgive the dead, and so forth. And then he says, La yaqsid. He's given us what is bil'aks, what's the opposite. La yaqsid fiha and yad'u makhluqan min dunillah. And then he goes on to say, وَلَوْ جَاءَ إِنسَانٍ إِلَى الصَّرِيرِ الْمَيْتِ يَدْعُوهُ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ وَيَسْتَغِيثُ بِهِ كَانَ هَذَا شِرْكًا مُحَرَّمًا بِإِجْمَاعِ الْمُسْلِمِينَ. So he says, so what is not meant here is to go and supplicate to something that is created, other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, meaning Allah is not created, but His creation. We can't make dua. I can't make dua to this book. I can't make dua to my thermos of beautiful coffee. I can't make dua to the dead, or even to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or to Jesus sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or to Adam alayhi salatu wasalam. La, I can't do it. He says, La yaqsid fiha in yad'u makhluqan min dunillah. It's not, what is not meant is to supplicate to, things that are created. You can only supplicate to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he says, وَلَوْ جَاءَ إِنسَانٍ. So if a person came to the bed of a person who is deceased, who's on their deathbed and they passed, okay? يَدْعُوهُ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ. And then they supplicate to him. Oh, Sheikh so-and-so. Oh, yeah, Abdul Qadir J. Oh, Elder so-and-so. Oh, whoever. Supplicating to the dead. وَيَسْتَغِيثُ بِهِ. And seeking, having hope and this humility and supplicating to this person, that they can help them, and, seeking help from a dead person. كَانَ هَذَا شِرْكٍ مُحَرَّمًا. This is polytheism, and it is impermissible. بِإِجْمَاعٍ, by the consensus of the Muslims. This shows us, ahabati fillah, that the scholars of the past, how they made inkar, especially when this issue became prevalent, because during the time of the Sahaba and the Tabi'een and so forth, these issues didn't even exist. Was it because they were supplicating to dead people? No. But it was because the wickedness, the deviancy, the Shia Rafida, the other evil, wicked sects that began to appear of extreme Sufism and extreme grave worship, that when these people, and from Ahl Kalam, when they began to distort the religion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and people began to deviate in some of the various empires amongst the Muslims, under certain caliphate, under the Muslims, that these evil practices became widespread, that were unknown to Islam. Islam is pure monotheism. You can't worship this bench. It's not going to help you. You can't worship the rock right there. You can't. I can't worship the gear. I can't. It's not going to benefit me. You worship Allah, Rabbil Alameen. Allah, the Lord of the world. Supplicate to Him only. فَلَا تَدْعُوا مَا اللَّهِ أَحَدًا. Do not supplicate to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala anyone. وَصَلَّى اللَّهُ وَسَلَّمَ عَلَى نَبِيِّنَا Muhammad.